Hello. Hello, hello, ¿qué tal? Hello. Good to see you. I was missing you. I was like, hey, who are those guys? The front row.
All right, we have interim head coach Adrián González. Jason, want to kick us off?
Adrián, I wanted to, I guess, get your thoughts on a game that it seemed like maybe a different problem to solve tonight than some of the other home games where your opponents usually come out compact. Tonight they were a little more expansive, a little more mid-block, or even sometimes drawing a high line. Casey just mentioned having to make the adjustments to solve that. How do you think the team did?
I think we've competed very good today. I take this game as a big learning for the future. So we know that San Diego was a great team. To be honest, I don't know why they don't have more points, because they have a pretty good roster and with great players with experience in national team, and they are competing really good. So we know that would be a tough game, but yeah, I think we weren't expecting maybe that goal, but something that can happen. We had the first chances to finish and to score first, but we couldn't, and after that, so another scenario. So you need to score, you are behind, and yeah, I think maybe first half was a little bit difficult because maybe we are not used to, but I think going to the second half 1-0 was a good result, and yeah, we've tried to adjust a little bit second half, something about the pressing and the first minutes of the second half, I think we're pretty good, and again today with this amazing crowd, so we could tie at the end. For me, it's more than 1 point, if I'm honest. I take this as a great game, and I'm sure in the future it will help us.
The team had to go without Andy from the start tonight. That obviously changes some things. How do you think the group did in her absence? How do you think Paige did stepping into that role?
Really good, yeah. Another factor, another situation, and very happy for for Paige and also for Courtney, because they've been training very good, and also I think they deserve that opportunity. It's been a while since they played 90 minutes, so it's good. It's good those players can get minutes and can get also these experiences, because we cannot compete with 11 or 12 players. So the league, we know that it's going to be hard and long, and we need all the players involved. So I think also they were doing a really good job, both of them, and I'm happy with their performance.
Luis?
Coach, felicidades ¿verdad? Por el punto, un juego competitivo. Quiero dividirte la pregunta en dos. La primera es, hablamos un poco de esos ajustes, ¿no? Que tuviste que hacer para este partido. Y la segunda es, bueno, la misma pregunta es, ¿cuál fue el mensaje que diste, ¿no? en el entretiempo para poder mantener el juego y poderlo sacar al final? Y la última es, ¿cómo defines esta primera mitad de la temporada?
Has hecho 3, ¿eh?
I'm sorry, I do 3, I'm sorry.
Let's see if I remember. La primera, bueno, sabíamos que San Diego al final es un equipo que le gusta progresar mucho por dentro, con dos interiores, sobre todo por dentro. Y había situaciones donde pues quizá no estábamos defendiendo bien esa interior un poquito alejada. Queríamos cerrar un poquito ahí con Trini y con Courtney, pero a veces encontraban ese pase, y bueno, al final pues hemos decidido ajustar un poco, pues tener más a Courtney y a Paige como doble pivote para proteger un poquito esos espacios, bueno, renunciando quizá a tener un poquito más gente arriba, pero estar más protegidas ahí en el medio, y creo que el equipo lo ha entendido y lo ha ajustado bien. Y a partir de ahí, bueno, ¿cuál era la segunda que me he olvidado?
El mensaje en el
el mensaje. Bueno, pues que había que seguir creyendo. El partido, a pesar de ir 1-0 perdiendo, creo que el equipo había merecido pues al menos marcar más de un gol, y bueno, a veces no puede ser. Pues seguir creyendo en el plan de partido, porque sabíamos dónde podíamos hacerle daño. Hemos también intentado ajustar un poquito en ataque, asumir un poco más de riesgo, a veces pues adelantando a alguna jugadora un poquito más también en esos espacios entre líneas e intentar explotar un poco pues donde teníamos ventaja, que sobre todo hoy por fuera creo que el equipo lo ha hecho bastante bien y también con balones a la espalda. Sabíamos también que queríamos encontrar a Croix y a Courtney en esos espacios también entre líneas y bueno, creo que al final la segunda parte el equipo lo ha encontrado mucho mejor. Y bueno, el resumen de este tramo final, pues muy contento. Al final, si soy sincero, yo no sé si alguien al principio de temporada estaba con la idea de que estaríamos donde estamos o tenía las expectativas que el equipo ha demostrado. Muy orgulloso del equipo, de cómo compite cada partido y creo que las jugadoras bueno, pues están mereciendo pues, lo que ha pasado hoy, ¿no? Que hemos tenido el estadio lleno, que la gente disfruta viendo al equipo, bueno, que la gente se identifica también con lo que están haciendo y lo que están consiguiendo y creo que este equipo pues bueno, pues está sinceramente haciendo historia porque el equipo cada vez compite mejor hasta el final y bueno, creo que hay un futuro muy bonito por delante.
Mario, and then over to Emily.
Buenas noches, Adrián. Primero quería preguntar, un lleno total adentro del Audi Field, ¿cómo hizo el equipo para jugar ahí sí y tomar la energía que daba la afición esta noche?
Pues quiero agradecer a todo el mundo que ha venido hoy porque la verdad que la gente se está portando genial, es un placer ver el estadio lleno y el compromiso que hay con el equipo, ¿no? Es de agradecer y bueno, se nota muchísimo, las jugadoras están también contentísimas y sabíamos que podíamos conseguirlo. Hoy no sabíamos si se iba a llenar o no, pero al final nos han dado la noticia y bueno, pues una energía extra. Al final todo el trabajo que hay detrás se ve compensado con eso, ¿no? Yo les digo a las jugadoras que no es una coincidencia que el equipo ahora mismo esté compitiendo, que la gente esté viniendo, que estemos consiguiendo lo que estamos consiguiendo, porque hay mucho trabajo detrás. Yo las veo cada día entrenar, hay un trabajo brutal también de todo el staff, muchísima gente implicada, diferentes departamentos y bueno, pues al final el buen trabajo luego trae frutos y yo creo que ahora mismo el equipo pues está recogiendo todo lo que lleva haciendo en estos últimos meses.
La segunda pregunta que tengo es, ¿qué estaba pasando por tu mente en la última jugada del gol del empate?
Que lo merecíamos, que el equipo, yo soy una persona muy competitiva y yo creo hasta el final, hasta que no pita el árbitro no dejo de creer y yo sabía que había que intentarlo. El equipo al final estaba en una dinámica de acercarse al área, sabíamos que necesitábamos pues meter balones ahí, que al final en esos últimos minutos siempre hay muchas emociones y siempre hay oportunidades y bueno, creo que el equipo ha merecido como mínimo ese gol y ese punto porque con todo lo que ha hecho pues hubiera sabido a poco hoy una derrota.
Gracias.
Emily, then Peyton.
Thank you. You had to problem solve there at the end of the first half with Gabby coming out. At what point or how much of putting Howe on the back line and kind of shifting Courtney back was an in-the-moment decision-making? How much have you seen them in those positions? And then tonight, specifically from Howe, how'd you see her respond to dropping back into that spot?
Yeah, we weren't expecting for sure what happened with Gabby, and we know that Hal, as a player, I think she can play in every position. Not goalkeeper for sure. She's gonna kill me if I put her as a goalkeeper, but physically, tactically, and also the way that we wanted to build up today, that we were trying to build up with 3 players, Gabby a little bit inside, so Hal can do that pretty good. She did it against Portland, 20 minutes, and it was good. She's not a fullback for me, to be honest, because I think she's a midfielder, and we like her there because she needs space to run, especially, and also I think playing in the middle, she helped the team a lot. But today, in that moment, we didn't have all the fullbacks, so seeing what we had today, I think it was the best decision. And also Courtney can play as an 8, as a midfielder, a little bit higher. So that was something that we knew in the past. And when something happens, so in that moment you need to adjust quickly. A really good performance again for her.
I guess kind of right off of that, Coach, we saw only 2 subs today.
Yeah.
I was wondering how much that was influenced by the first half sub, by kind of a more physical game as it evolved, having to have a lot more time with players down and trainers coming on, if that played at all into the sub strategy, if that was how you were hoping things to go,
Yeah.
or if you just wanted to give players a little bit more time and felt like there was a goal that was going to come out of that group.
Yeah, absolutely. So we always have a game plan in my mind. Well, actually, I have plenty of them. I have a lot, but we try to follow what we want to do, and sometimes we have a plan B. But for sure, today we weren't expecting that with Gabby, so you need to adjust quickly, and it changed a little bit maybe not the game plan, but the player's profile. So because the game plan was the same, but with different players. So also when that happened, we need to know which strengths we have with those players, especially, I don't know, for example, with Hal, building up with Hal, it's completely different than building up with Gabby. So Hal also can put maybe balls behind. She did it pretty good today. Playing maybe with Hachi in those pockets, she can also be as another number 9. So sometimes we use her with Ule as a 2 number 9s, attracting the line of 4 in those spaces in between. So knowing our players now, we know what they can give us, and according to that, we just try to modify a little bit these spaces, but the game plan was the same.
I guess just a quick follow-up, if I may. How would you assess then the adaptability of the team and their response to a situation like that, especially when something's happening late in the first half and maybe that's altering what you're going in and saying at halftime?
Yeah. Again, I think that's really positive what happened today. So a lot of circumstances that we weren't expecting. We've modified a little bit the lineup. Players are competing very good. So we had an injury today with Gabby that not concussion, but she couldn't continue. So we had to adjust a little bit. Also the pressing, sometimes we know that we can press in a different ways. So the team is getting better, is improving, and also we are pretty dynamic. And also now when we need to switch or change something, they get it pretty fast. So I think that's positive. We've been training that. Now we cannot control everything for sure, and you need to adjust according to what is happening in that moment. And I feel like now we are doing pretty good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go Varun and then Andre.
Hey, Coach. Record crowd today. How did it feel to give them such an exciting ending?
I feel amazing, honestly. So it doesn't seem like we tied today. For me, this is a win. More than 1 point, especially because of the way that we achieved and the way that the team competed today. It shows like we are. Doesn't matter we have in front, which team we have in front. Now we are competing every game, amazing, and now the team confidence also is getting higher, and I'm very happy and grateful. I said to the players yesterday that I feel this is not a coincidence. Again, so there are a lot of people behind, a lot of work behind, and now they deserve this. So I'm pretty happy. Also, the people want to come to Audi Field, and also they feel like, okay, this is our team. We feel part of this. This is what we are also trying to do, and it's amazing. So the feeling at Audi Field is getting rowdy, but rowdy, yeah. So happy with people, and the people that also. He's sending a lot of messages, a lot of love. They love the players, so they are supporting every single game. So I think that's something amazing.
Andre.
Congrats on the, I was going to say on the win. It felt like a win, but congrats on the performance. I did want to ask a bit about McKenna Morris. We saw that she was in the team,
yeah.
And we thought maybe when Gabby went down that it might be time for her to get some minutes. Was she an option for you to bring on and just wasn't the right time?
Yeah, absolutely. But thinking about her and thinking also about the big picture, I want to protect her. And I think today it wasn't the best scenario for her. It's been a while without competing, and yeah, when we make those decisions also, it's not just about if she's physically she can play for sure, but when I take a decision, I see other factors on other elements. So bringing her today with those emotions, with the game like that, so I think it would be a lot. She just started training weeks ago, and now she's getting better. She's training very good, and let's see, step by step, she can just get some minutes and be an option for sure for more in the future.
Appreciate that. And wanted to ask about the emotions. The camera caught you in your celebration a little bit at the end, and so I just wanted you to talk through some of the emotions of the celebration. We saw Sarah run from the bench as well. Like, what was that moment like?
I cannot describe that, so you need to feel it. So it's about feelings, it's not about thoughts. Or I felt pretty good because there is a lot of, not pressure, but tension in those moments, especially feeling like the team today, I don't know how many chances we've created again. I don't know, to be honest, and it was like, why don't we score? What do we need to do to score a goal today? And I was feeling bad for the players, but at the same time, I was like pretty positive, and I believe in this team. It's not the first time that they do like this, and we scored last minutes, so I was pretty confident that today at least we scored. We could have scored one goal, and yeah, it's amazing. It's a feeling like you cannot describe. So when you score a goal, when you win, also during the week we are preparing that game, and we were expecting this crowd. So I was also happy for the people who just came today. Like at least they could help us and they could see us get 1 point. So I'm so happy.
And we'll wrap up with Jason.
Adrián, I think there were, by my count at least, there were 3 different times the referee, for players for both teams, signaled to the group, like, if you foul this player one more time, I'll book you. She was, watching the persistent infringement. One of those was with Trinity. Yeah. It's probably not the first time that that's happened, where an opponent has fouled her enough times where the referees are giving that warning. Is there a workaround to sort of not have that happen, where you're getting her free and she's not necessarily drawing or taking as much physical punishment as this case and maybe some of the other games?
Yeah, I think this is a learning for her and also for us. We cannot waste energy with referees and things that we cannot control. It's not easy because we were talking about emotions, so you need to be playing with this environment in front of 20,000 people or 19,000 people, and you need to be there to understand how players sometimes react. This is not an excuse. I don't like when we just complain or when we just focus. We are not focused on what we have to do. But I think as much energy we waste with things that we cannot control, it's going to be worse. So I always try to focus on the things that we can do, the game plan, so the movements, to identify what we want to do, to how to control also our thoughts or emotions. So that's the things that we need to control. We cannot control if the referee whistle or whatever or yellow card, but we need to learn and we cannot react. So we need to manage those emotions because we cannot pick up cards easily. She needs to understand that, and we are working on that with her. She's young. Don't forget that she's 22. And being Trinity Rodman is not easy. Sometimes we forget that she's a human being and she's 22. And I think we need to sometimes understand that she's a human being too.
Just a last one. Andy and Kate were both questionable.
Yeah.
What do you expect their status to be in the next couple of games here?
I don't know the future, man. I would like to know. No, but they're good. It's nothing big. So at this point, we didn't want to take any risk. They just fell a little bit during the week, something muscular. So nothing big, but again, so we are trying to protect also the players. So pushing them maybe today, it would be an option, but to be honest, I don't want to do that right now. We have a lot of games and we take care of the players also. We want them to be fresh, to be ready 100%. And sometimes if we feel that they're not 100%, there's no need to take any risk, because we have other players that also, Paige Courtney today, they could compete, and we have other options. So we hope that next week they can be ready. Let's see how they evolve.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Adrián. We will be right back with Croix Bethune and
Thank
Aubrey
you.
Kingsbury.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, we have Aubrey Kingsbury and Croix Bethune. Jason, kick us off.
Thanks for both of you for speaking with us. I guess we'll start with the goal. I guess I would kind of ask for both of your perspectives on it. So, Croix, maybe you could talk us through first what you saw play out on the moment, and then Aubrey, maybe from 100 yards away, what you were seeing.
The best view on the field. Just to start back a little bit, we had a lot of chances, and from my point of view, I knew that we were going to get one in the goal. As many chances that we had, we just needed one to go in. And eventually we were getting it wide and just sending them in the box. Casey played a great ball, and when the defender's running backwards, often the ball's going to flick backwards. So just chested it and finished it near post.
Yeah, they hardly got out of their half in the second half, so I was pretty close actually for it. But but when Trin went down, we were just kind of talking about, like, get crosses in, like, get numbers in the box, like, it's going to come. So, yeah, Casey had a great ball and an incredible finish. You knew she was going to score before it even left her foot.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
And this is for either of you, but San Diego came out kind of differently than a lot of other teams that have come here. They really played a wide shape. Most teams try and compress, obviously, pretty normal road stuff. Adrián mentioned adjusting the press in the second half, the structure of it. How do you think the team did in the first half before that adjustment, and then what allowed it to function better and, like Aubrey said, kind of pin them back for so long?
I think you hit it spot on. They were very wide, so it was kind of hard for us to press because there was a lot of space in the midfield. The 6 was picking up the ball a lot, and there was just confusion of whether we should step or stay. But I feel like at half we kind of readjusted our shape, and that allowed us to prevent the 6 from getting a ball or there being such a big gap in the middle of the field.
Yeah, San Diego was very organized. I thought they were a great opponent today, put in a great shift, but towards the end you could tell that they were tired. So I think, yeah, we kind of wore them down, and towards the end, even in the beginning, really, I think we had a lot of clear chances in the first half. She had the post. Sheridan had a great save on Trin's shot. Yeah, so just one of those nights where we couldn't seem to score, but overall proud of the way we played and just didn't fall for us.
Go back to Varun.
Croix, can you take us through the celebration after the goal?
So I'm shooting dice. Because when you shoot dice, 7-11 is going to hit every time, so you want to hit 7 when you roll. Yeah.
Go to Emily and then Louise.
Thanks. Aubrey, this is for you. Hal obviously had to shift back into position mid-game at the end. Just curious what kind of instructions you were giving her, how much you had to give her, and how quickly she adjusted to playing on the back line.
She played there a little bit when we were in Portland. And ironically, she played there a little bit at national team camp. So it was kind of like a running joke, like, right back, Hal. Not so funny now that she has to play there. She's a midfielder for sure. But it's great to just, have her be willing and open to fill whatever role is needed for her. Yeah, she did a great job. Unfortunately, just with Gabby's injury and kind of the state of some other injuries and where we're at right now, yeah, she had to fill in. But I think she did a great job and helped that she didn't have to defend too much and got to be on the ball.
Go to Louise and then back to Peyton.
Congrats for the goal. Tell us these last seconds when you take the pass and you already go to the goal. Tell us what are you feeling,
Just to continue to go. Like, the game isn't over until the last whistle. So at the end of the day, I had a feeling that we weren't going to lose and just needed one chance for it to go in the back of the net, and it fell into my feet. So.
And Peyton.
Aubrey, you mentioned earlier you were able to be really high up the field for a lot of it that second half, and I was just wondering for either of you what it was you think that really locked in that enabled you to do that, to have such a forward presence in that second half and really contain San Diego. We all know they have a ton of attacking threats, so that's incredibly impressive to watch.
Yeah, I honestly just think they were tired. Like, I don't know how many times Trin was running down that wing. Like, I wouldn't want to be one of their fullbacks. But, yeah, I think we're a little bit more patient. We're switching the ball and going to kind of both sides and not just, like, sticking towards one side, but just being a little more patient in possession. What do you think?
I agree. I feel like it really started with our defense. Once we readjusted, we had momentum to continue to go forward. And like you said, we were in their half a lot, whether we were building up or defending. So I feel like that just helped us out a lot.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Lee and then over to Andre.
Hey, a question for you both. I'm just curious what the role nutrition plays in being a high-level athlete, what you both think about that.
Yeah, we have a big emphasis on nutrition here at the Spirit. Just from what they feed us, we get provided breakfast and lunch every day. And then just refueling after the session, recovery shakes, electrolytes, so many fluids to drink. But it's massively important to replenish just the carbohydrates we burn and just to get, things just recovered quicker. So yeah, we really focus on nutrition here. We have a very big performance medical and innovation team. Dawn Scott's kind of at the head of that, Kirsty Hicks. So they're always kind of, reading the science and all really brilliant people in and of themselves. So we're always kind of trying out new things. But yeah, they definitely make sure we're eating healthy, making good choices at home and on the road, and do a lot just to educate us so then we can, be empowered to make the right decisions for ourselves.
Over to Andre.
Congrats on the goal, Croix, but this question is for both of you. I wanted to know the sellout crowd today. You guys knew in advance that it was going to be sold out. Really great atmosphere. Go down in the first half, 0-1, and then have to fight back and kind of get the equalizer right at the end. Is there additional pressure that comes with trying to make sure that fans go home with something, some sort of result that they could be proud of?
I wouldn't necessarily say there's pressure. I feel like we've been putting in the work, and it's been showing off that the fans come out and want to support us. So, of course, we want to put on a show for them and come out with a win, but sometimes things don't happen that way. So, at the end of the day, we want to perform our best and hopefully get a win. And sometimes you don't get the win, but the way that you play is enough for the crowd to enjoy the game of soccer.
I wouldn't say more pressure, but just like more desire to like really give them something, because now it's not, us and our teammates, us and our 19,000 closest friends, and we really want them to feel like the joy that we have when we play with each other. And especially, it's been since 2019 when we had this crowd, and we were really building then, and then COVID hit, so it's been a long time coming. So for us, who kind of remembers what a sold-out Audi or like close to it feels like to get that feeling back was incredible, and I hope it stays for the rest of the season.
Yeah. I also wanted to get your perspectives on the celebration. Croix, you explained the dice celebration, which was awesome. But we also saw a number of players run over, including Sar just sprinted from the bench.
She did? Really? Dang, wow. She was so tired, too.
There's a photo of her jumping on top of the pile, which is hilarious. But what was the perspective that both of you had after the goal, and how loud it was, and, of course, all the teammates that came over to celebrate?
Yeah. We're family, and I love how we all celebrate for each other's goals. Like, even if I don't score, it's fun celebrating for someone else to score, because at the end of the day, we do it for each other. And it's amazing. Like you said, Ule ran off the bench to celebrate with us on the field. So it's amazing just to have everyone close in a huddle and just to feel that love and support.
Yeah, I was booking it, because it's the worst when you run all that way, and then it's like, it's over. So I didn't see the actual celebration, but I was huffing and puffing. But got some good hugs in there, and it was a great feeling.
Aubrey always books like a 90.
It's like a quick assessment of are they gonna turn around? Because if you go to the corner, it's pretty far. But that one I had a good jump, because like I said, I knew it was coming.
And we'll wrap up with Jimena.
Okay, I have two questions. First is for you, Croix. We have seen you in the beginning of this regular season to see a Croix it was making a little mistakes, but now you're getting every day perfect in everything that you're doing it. And also, I feeling that the key of today's game was a little bit that you were training with the USA, with the national team. Do you think I'm right, or am I wrong?
Of course, you can take little keys and ideas and implement it in my game with the Spirit. So anything that I can learn from older players or at camp, I'd love to add to my game.
And my second question is for both of you. What is your expectations now to face? You have to travel first, and then you have to meet. You have to play against Tugathon.
We're excited, yeah. They're kind of a different team since we beat them here 2-0. So can't wait to beat them again.
Yeah, just prepare. Like you said, they're a different team. A lot of people were injured that will be playing now. So a lot of preparation and just take it day by day.
Okay, that's the spirit.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Croix and Aubrey. Appreciate it. We will see you from the road next weekend.
You all have a great night.